Okay, asking you to sketch this graph will be quite tough. This one's quite hard to do, so I'm going to do it for you. If you feel brave, then press pause and have a go. Try to sketch this. If you feel brave, then press pause and have a go. Okay, so to sketch this graph here, let's look at this. Um, if you can remember 1/x, this graph will look something like this. Okay, I've explained why this is the case in one of the early videos. And if you have -1/x, it will look something like this. Okay, but now we are trying to investigate this. What will 1/x plus 3, what would that look like? Now, remember, the minute you hit 1 divided by 0, it breaks down. So something weird happens when this bottom part is 0. Now, if you look at this here, if you put -3 into here, -3 into there, then this whole thing here will be 0. So in effect, you will have 1/0. So something happens when you put, well, remember, the minute you hit 1/0, you got to stop in your tracks. You got to stop what you're doing and think something's weird's happening. So if you put -3 into the x here, you know something's weird is happening when you put -3 into the x. So let's draw the graph. Hang on. So something weird happens when x equals -3. Okay, when x equals -3 here, something weird happens. So hang on, let me just put this in here. So something weird happens there. Now, try to investigate by selecting a point, a tiny microscopic point just to the right of -3. So just around here, a really small amount to the right of the -3. Let's see what happens. So let's select it when x equals minus 2.999. Okay, so this is a microscopic amount to the right of x equals -3, because we know something weird happens at x -3. So we are selecting a point just to the right of that. So let's put this into here and see what happens. Now, minus 2.999 plus 3. That will be, well, jump to a calculator if you want. Hang on, let's get a calculator. Calculator. So so negative 2.9. Hang on. Negative 2.999. Hang on, let me just turn this into it there, and then we're going to add 3. Okay, add 3. That should give us a really small number. Okay, it will give us a really small number, but it will give us a small positive number. So when you put minus 2.999 into here, it will give us this 1/0.001. Is that? Hang on. Yeah. So it will give us this number here. Now the overall thing here will be, let's do 1 divided by that 0 point thing. So it's just like me doing this. So 1 divided by that equals 1000. So this here is a really high number. Okay, let's say this is 1000 up here, 1000. Now let's see what happens when x is 0. Now if you put 0 into here, 0. So 0. If you put 0 into the x basically goes, and then you have 1/3. 1/3. It will be 0.333. So 1000 is up here. 0.333. Well, whatever. It's down here. It's a really small amount. So you know that it's doing something like this. Okay, and now let's select a really big number to the right. Let's say 999. Now, if you put 999 into the x here, you will have 1002, because you've got to add 3 on top of that. So now 1 divided by this thing is going to be a really small number. So it's going to be lower than 0.33. So basically it's going to be even lower than this point here. So your graph. So as you increase x, it's going to head towards 0, but it won't get to 0 because you always have the 1 here. even if you do this, 1 divided by 999999999999999, it still won't get to 0. It will be near to 0, but it won't get to 0. Okay? So on the on the right hand side of x equals minus 3, you know this graph here will look something like this. Okay? So we've done the right hand side of x equals minus 3. Now let's investigate what happens when you have let's see what happens when you investigate to the left of that weird thing when x equals minus 3. So when x equals minus 3, x equals minus 3. So we know something weird happens around here. By the way, this is called an asymptote. But anyway, don't worry about that too much. So here, this here, we are now trying to investigate what. Well, on the right hand side, we know it looks something like this. Okay, but on the left hand side, let's choose a point when x is just to the left of minus 3. So we are looking at when x equals negative 3.0001, say. A microscopic amount to the left of the x minus 3. So now put this into this x here. Okay, so this thing here will be, hang on, so let's do minus 3.0001 plus 3. Let's see what happens. Hang on. It should give us a small number. Hang on. So here, negative. Let me think. Okay, 3.sorry, that's 30. 3.0001. So that's the negative here. Negative that plus 3 equals this. So in effect it would be this: 1 over negative 0.0001. Okay. Now let's move the negative up. Now let's move the negative outside of this. So in effect, let's just concentrate on this bit here, and whatever the answer is, it will be a negative because of this negative here. So now 1 divided by 0.00, it's going to be a big number right there. So 1 divided by this thing here. Oh, well, I'm just gonna hang on, clear this. So 1 divided by 0.0001 equals this, and remember it's a negative. So the overall answer is negative 10,000. So when x is just to the left of this thing, it will be a negative 10,000. So it's really high up here. It's really high up. So well, as it turns out, it's going to be like this because let's choose x to be really far, really big, but negatively big. Let's choose minus 999. So you put minus 999 into here. When you plus 3, it will be 1 over minus 996. You see, this number here will be, well, let's move the minus 1 up here. Sorry, let's move the minus up here, and then when it's up here, we can take it out here and just concentrate on this bit here. Whatever the answer is, it will be a negative because of this negative. Now 1 divided by a big number, then overall it will be a really small number, 0.000 whatever. But the thing is, there's a negative here, so that it's going to be negative 0.0. Basically, it's going to be a really small number, but on the negative side. That's why it's on the negative side, not up here, because this will be positive. Okay. When we're talking about the positive value of y, we are talking about the up and down, because here you've got a negative. The y value will be negative, blah 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 blah. So it's on the negative side. Here it's on the positive side. Here is a positive. We are talking about the y value. Well, this one here will be positive. This one here will be negative. And so overall, your graph will look like this. Okay. So hang on. Let me just rephrase this. So here, start by doing this. Now you know something fishy happens when you have 1 over 0. Now when does this thing here become 0? Well, when this is minus 3. So you know something happens when x equals -3. Something weird happens. Now, if you choose a point just to the right of this -3, it will give you a high value. So as you increase x, it's going to go like this, and then you would select a value that's a microscopic value to the left of the -3, and then that will give you the overall thing that's really big, negatively big. And then as you select -9999, a really big but negatively big, put it into here, it will give you a really small number, but on the negative side, it will give you a small negative number. So it will look something like this. It will look something like this. Okay? And if you happen to have something like y equals 1 over, let's say, x minus 5, well, think something happens, something weird happens when you have 1 divided by 0. Now, when does this thing here when does this thing here become 0? Well, when you put positive 5 into here, then something weird happens. So if you want to investigate this, something weird happens when x equals 5. So here, earlier was x -3, but here, in this case, it's x when x is 5. So something weird happens at x equals 5. And then what you would do is choose a number that's just to the right of 5. So let's choose 5.0005. And then later choose a number just to the left of this. Choose 4.999. Put it into here and see what happens. One will give you a positive. Well, anyway, it might. I don't know what it will look like, but you might have to investigate. So anyway, to answer this question here, your graph will look something like this. Something weird happens at x equals -3. So as it turns out, it looks like this. Now, if you get a graph plotter and sketch it, it will look like this. Okay, look at this. This value here is actually -3. So you can see when you choose a number just to the right of the -3, the y value will be really high. And then as you increase in this direction, this value falls. And then it heads towards 0. And then if you choose something weird happens at -3. If you choose -2.9999, it's going to be a really big number, but negatively big. And then as you increase, if you like, as you increase x but negatively, if that makes sense, it will head towards 0 like this. So overall, your graph will look something like this. Okay.